And welcome back to the LMS show. Oh my goodness, brother. What's everything is hip hop, right?
Yes, sir. Literally.
Literally everything's hip hop. What's the name? What's the name? What's your name, my brother?
Marquise Marrow.
Say it again.
Marquise Marrow.
Say it one more time, you don't mind.
Marquise from the Zulu Nation. Marquise Marrow.
Give out the Marquise Marrow.
All right.
I'm in the boogie down.
Right.
Boogie down, Bronx, everybody. Marquise, we met through a promoter, right?
Yeah, he had an event. Yeah.
Yeah, down in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
You told me you have a radio show, right?
Yes.
Tell us about this radio show.
Well, it's WARY in Westchester Community College, 88.1 FM. Fridays 8 to 10. I ain't been there lately, but I still got the slot.
Okay.
But when I seen you there, I was going every week, but I got a lot of interest, so
Yeah.
I'll go there when I can.
Yeah. What do you do on the show?
Oh, my show is called The Family Affair,
Mm-hmm.
and I have no program director, so I basically do anything I want.
Oh boy, that's a dream.
Except
I went to a lot of radio stations, not a disc jockey, didn't have that. They don't have a boss.
but it's not a job, so that's the difference.
Yeah,
You know, it's just a hobby. That's why I can come and go.
It's like voluntary.
Yeah. So I had a lot of people call in, so it was good.
What kind of hip hop music you play?
Oh, I play original old school hip hop. Well, it depends on your age with old school, but the first generation, Flash and the Furious 5, Treacherous 3, the beginning, Crash Crew, the list goes on, Spoonie G. But I might throw some newer music in there for the younger listeners because it is a college. Indeed.
What is their feedback? What did you get any feedback off of them?
Not really. To be honest with you, I don't know who's listening on a Friday from 8 to 10.
That's true because
To be honest with you.
in the radio business, a lot of people don't mention this. I learned this from say 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, all the way down to 7 o'clock. That's their prime time.
Yeah, but see, it's up there. It doesn't come to New York City, so that's the difference.
Oh, okay.
So
But
it's
even
upstate.
the council listening to it. Somebody listening to it, right?
Well, yeah, what's a big fan base? Valhalla Prison, which was right next door. So they listen.
Oh, Valhalla.
Yeah, they listen to my show a lot.
They do. What's the feedback from them?
They just love it.
Oh.
Because a lot of them can relate to it.
Oh my God. Valhalla.
Yeah, so that was like a big demographic, the big guest problem.
Well, that's good. It's like give them a big hand. Because in most cases, they are, most cases they're almost the forgotten ones.
Indeed.
And the sad thing about sometimes you see young ladies go, well, yeah, gentlemen, but ladies, when a man goes to prison, the ladies run up there. I can see my man. I can get on that bus over 59. I can see my man. I can see my man. But then when come around to the women, oh my God. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. That next. Now I'm not trying to be funny, but it's true.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm glad that you give this brother a big hand here because he do it. How'd you get involved in hip hop?
Whoa, okay, that's a long story.
Okay, make a long story short.
No, I'm gonna make a long story short. Hip hop is 46 years old this year.
Wow.
And my brother-in-law, who is 10 years older than me, and I was just a kid. So
Yes.
when it was new, he was into it. He was DJing.
Oh.
So I just adopted it. He would stay in the living room spinning. So he gave me the mic, and about 8 years old, and I just never stopped.
What?
And he always said I took it to the next level. So my brother-in-law introduced it to me.
I remember like the disc jockeys, and there was one. I don't even remember the name. Pete DJ Jones. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember. He used to do shows down at it used to be the old McAllen Hotel. He was good. He was very good. He know his skill. Or
Yeah, I heard a lot about him. I didn't know him personally.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah, since he mentioned that, Pete was like, what? That's 6'9", I tell you.
Yeah.
All slim DJ guy, man.
Yeah, I seen pictures of him.
You don't have to sit. You don't have to. You can sit down and still see him. Still standing up. When he plays music, yeah. And the Last Poets. I know your brother was involved in it.
The Last Poets? Oh yeah, of course. I know.
Heavy stuff.
I knew one of them. I can't remember his name. Well, I met one of them,
Yeah.
but I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, right here in Harlem, as a matter of fact.
Right.
You know, we were talking earlier about the hip hop culture grew a whole lot.
Oh yes, 46 years.
I mean, you have 01, you have the ones from the old school, and then you have some of the new school.
True school. Let's
True
not say
school.
old
Yeah,
school.
true school. What do you think about the ones today? Because sometimes what's your opinion about the ones today?
Well, it's not hip hop.
What is it?
I don't know. I know what it isn't. I don't know what it is, but I know what it isn't.
Because I remember there's a gentleman I do business with, Caucasian gentleman, and he told me, he said, I love, like you said, the true school hip hop. He said, and the guy's right. He said, well, look, I don't know what's out here now, Lenny.
Yeah, that's
He
not
said,
hip-hop.
because you see us riding up and down the block, they curse, they scandalize and call people B's and H's, and some women love it.
Well, that's normal to them because that's what they grew up hearing. They thinking that's what it's supposed to be because they missed my era or the era after. So they don't know what real hip hop is because of their age or their location. Some people, old school is Lil Wayne to some people.
Yes.
To me, he's a new jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
You dig? So, what's on the radio now definitely isn't hip hop. Because hip hop is not disrespecting women. Hip hop is not talking about how many drugs you can do. Hip hop is not talking about how many guns you got. That's not hip hop. It might be some form of entertainment, but it ain't hip hop. So that's why I say I don't know what to call it.
Do you agree with that, Professor?
Yeah, well, you had Cool Herc and KRS-One, right? That's your era, right?
Yes.
KRS-One.
And we had
Cool
Well, that's
Herc.
the 90s, but I'm.
It came from that.
I would say, it came from that,
Yeah.
We would like to. We still have time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna take a second half on this. Who are your favorite true school artists?
I got a lot, but if I got to pick one, it's Grandmaster Caz and the Cold Crush Brothers.
Okay.
That's my number one favorite of all time.
Okay, I want to do like Scott Shannon do on Sunday morning. What's the second one? We have the top. Scott Shannon had the top 5. What's the second one?
After that, they all fall in. They all number second. From the Crash Crew, Treacherous 3, Spoonie G, like I mentioned earlier, they all second. But if I'm going to go up to the 90s, I got to go with Grand Poobah from Brand Nubian. And if I want to go for today, I like Jadakiss. Yeah, he's lyrically skilled. I like Jadakiss, but it don't go past that. Don't go past that.
You said it.
And
like the professor was saying many times, how we get to this, what we have today.
Well, the money, following. If one person makes a record and it sounds good, nowadays people want to do the same thing. Let me get that money. At one time, if you sound like somebody else, we don't want to have nothing to do with
That's
you.
right.
But now, if there's a hot sound and
the record companies are jumping, the big companies are jumping on it.
they want a million Cardi B's, what the people might be able to relate to. They don't want originality. They want to just follow. That's not hip hop. In hip hop, back in the days, everybody was trying to outdo everybody because it was about skill.
That's right.
It wasn't about following. It was about leading. And it's not that anymore. Well, the culture is, but the music business isn't. Like I told you on the phone,
Yeah.
the culture is going to always be the same, but the music business is going to change. And that goes with any genre of music.
Oh, yeah,
Even
yeah.
R&B is ugly right now.
Yeah.
But you know, the culture will remain the culture, and the music business is whatever you choose to call it. But it ain't hip hop.
Well, even like you know, like with doo-wop went from, you know, into like the R&B and pop. There's so many genders, you know, with it. Even some of the popular music, you know, I like some popular music. Some of that don't sound the same. You know, I sit back here, you know, like, remember, I think the professor we talked one day about Bobby V, please take care of my baby. Now, you know, the lyrics, you know, they're nice lyrics. And they don't have that. Now, the only one that caught my ear, well, what's his name? Call Me Maybe. Call me maybe. Here's my number. Call me maybe. You know.
I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah. Yes. But it's on the pop side. I mean, well, I got to sit back and listen to everybody. We're going to talk more about this as the coach. In what way in the culture? Whether it's closing and things like that, or what?
I don't. Could you repeat the
I
question?
said the culture. You know, what do you mean, like the culture?
Well, the 5 elements are going to remain the same: DJing, breakdancing, MCing, knowledge, vision, understanding, which is the 5th element, and the art of graffiti, and that's the 5 elements. That's going to always be there. And as far as the lyrics are concerned, it's going to always, hip hop is going to always mean uplift. It's going to always mean positivity. It's going to always mean let's dance and party, because that's what hip hop is. So that's going to always remain. Now, like I said, you might not hear a record with those elements on it. They might be put your guns up, I'm gonna shoot you if you come to my hood. You might hear that, but that's not hip hop. So that's what I'm saying. The culture is going to remain, but the music business is going to change. So if you know what real hip hop is, then you know what the culture will always remain. Love, peace, party, having fun.
But also, in your way, you're trying to say, like Otis came on previously, about like with, you know, with doo-wop, you know, you're trying to say that a lot of these, say the true artists, they're going on tours and stuff like that now too, right?
Well, believe it or not, the people who made records 40 years ago, like Melly Mel, he just came back from Europe. So yes, a lot of the older ones that had meaningful records or hit records, they're still working. Sugar Hill Gang, even though that was I ain't gonna go there, but
I know.
They're still working. You know, so yeah, they still do a lot of work. See, the difference between America and Europe, older artists in Europe, they work a lot. You know, they stay working, but in New York, it's like a rapper MC's a dime a dozen. So nobody's gonna pay Mel $10,000 to do the message when you can see him on the subway, or in his Beamer, or coming in the store. Who's gonna do that? You know, so Europe has a more of appreciation for hip hop than America does, for the most part.
They pay you.
Yeah, they'll pay you, and you ain't had to have a record in 25 years.
That's that.
35 years. Mel ain't had a record in a minute, but you know he's an icon, so
yeah.
You know that is a little bit different. And then another thing I wanted to say is like when you make records nowadays, the skills are not there.
We talk about that.
All they doing is having a hook and a nice beat. Back in the day, you couldn't touch that mic if you wasn't skilled. And big up to Sha Rock, the first MC, female MC, by the way. She has a movie coming out called Luminary Icon, and she also has Sha Rock Day, which was finished last year, but this summer will be the first Sha Rock Day in June. She's the first female MC from the Funky 4+1. Google it if you don't know.
Wow.
So I want to give her props. Sha Rock. Y'all remember Sha Rock if you're of a certain age? Dig it.
That's right.
But we have to revere these people and keep that sound alive, right?
Yeah, wait for the movie Luminary Icon. They started casting and all of that. And hopefully you see some of my gear because I got a bunch of gear.
Okay, well, we're going to wait with you.
Okay.
I got pink hoodies, says sorry I'm old school, sorry I'm hip hop, everything's hip hop. Hip hop has no age limit. I got everything. Almost everything.
We would like to thank you very much, but we're going to bring you. But we're going to bring you back in. We're going to bring you back again, and we're going to.
I hope so, man. Yeah. Just not 8 months later, though, man.
That's what I be telling them.
I met you in 2010. Now I'm just saying. Time ago, man. You know, I know you're busy though. You got a lot of people you need to see, so I'll wait.
You know, they always wait. I'm gonna tell you this though. I always remember this. I was reading a book by Bob Barker, and
Price is Right, Bob Barker?
Yeah, Price is Right. And he mentioned that he got his really first big break when Ralph Edwards, remember the People's Court, the People's Court show?
Well, Chuck Wapner and all that.
Yeah. And then you got the lady up there now. He mentioned that they wanted him for for Truth or Consequences. You know, they were gonna bring in. They had a radio version. They wanted to bring it on television, and they wanted him. He waited close to 2 years before he got it. I mean, later on, some people would say, "Well, later for you, you ain't no good man." And I read that it was. I guess they still had him on his. They still have him on his mind.
And I can't say that for you because you did call me like you said you would.
Oh yeah, no.
Let's give him some.
Yeah.
Let's switch it back.
Can't forget you.
did.
That's right.
So you did call me back, and I said I'll be there, and
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Here's my number. Call me, baby.
Yes, sir.
No, but I remember I met him later on. I met him at the bookstore, and he was signing up. And I told him, I said, I was reading the part of the book we had about Ralph Edwards. Ralph Edwards, you waited for close to 2 years. He said that he was a good man, and he's mentioned that he was a man. Well, he wanted him, but they wanted to make sure everything was right. Before they put him on, they didn't go through this and go through that.
This time.
Yeah. So, I try to be a person of my word. The only thing I told a friend of mine one day, me and her talking one day, I said, the only thing I got left, I said, I may not have much money, but I have my word. And I said, well, look, I'm going to take you to a restaurant. Like that. And I said, well, when are you going to go there? I don't know when, but you're going. And she ended up going there, And we're gonna talk about the hip hop culture. What are your favorites? We're gonna talk about Biggie. You remember anything about Biggie?
I remember Biggie.
We're gonna talk about Biggie, and we would talk about Biggie, and we talk about some of the artists later came later on too.
All right, no problem, man.
Bad Boys, Puff Daddy, right?
We'll do a little of that. Okay, we'll do a little of that. But I just want to talk about, like how Biggie integrates the music and everything.
Okay.
Integrate what you mean?
I mean, like he put he used some of the samples of some of these people's songs that he did.
But that's not. He didn't start that.
He didn't start it.
But
No, he didn't start it.
I was waiting for him.
Yeah, waiting for him. Yeah.
But I can dig it.
But we're talking.
Yeah, we'll chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to who?
Marquise Marrow.
Give us a Marquise Marrow. And we'll thank everybody with some food. The more LMS, so take it down. Okay.
Hey, this is Carmen Whipper, and we're on the reel. We're at the Cold Crush anniversary. We got mad rappers in the house, old school, new school. We got Sticky in the Hoods, the Cold Crush, of course, Crash Crew, Kevin Cab Waterbed, Charlie A. Hearn, who did the first rap movie, and we got Link Q up in the piece. Link Q.
You know what I'm saying? We talk about the history of rap, right?
We also got Chuck Chill Out in the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him props. He's all the way back there. You know what I'm saying? We right here representing Essos. I came and hooked up with her. We was talking about old school and basically the roots. You know what I'm saying? I was basically talking about how I feel about old school. I think that the roots has kind of been lost. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good because we taking hip hop to a commercial level where, you know, you may look at TV and you see a commercial, a cereal commercial with his hip hop. So it's all good. But I think that the roots have been, you know, it's lost. The art form. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rhymers out here, but there's very few MCs who's taking hip hop to another level, you know, and it's lyrics. It's all about lyrics. Speaking about lyrics. Link Q. Evacuate the building, bodies about to hit ceilings in case of stampede, so casualties towards the railings. I got the feeling you'll be tailing my direction like an infection, the way I inflame vocal sections. You need protection, more stronger than the latex or playtex. When I kick my rhymes, MC stay vexed. Reflex, it's set to get to body tosses. The way I send them through the air, you'll swear they're flying saucers. Changing courses cause some take off like jets and don't come down just yet until we all look like specks. As they fall, some hit the walls like handballs. How many hit the floor, I'm not too sure. Can't call, but y'all, I add more Vicks to injured list. Tongue and lips kick more tricks than a French kiss. If you insist your biggest wish will be surviving, this drop zone is the home for body lying. Border 9-6, word up, Link Q representing Ace Entertainment. Brooklyn, Queens, Miles, what's up? Peace, y'all. Mad love in the house. That was Link Q, that's messed up though. Link Q in the house, rocking some freestyle, that was fat. We got, okay, we have Gabby Cab Rock.
What's up, baby? No doubt.
Chuck Chill Out in the house. Let's go.
What up, Sticky in the Hood?
What's going on, man?
She Entertainment, Fat Wax.
No doubt. You know
Old
how
school.
we do. Old school
Rules. See
ya.
True school. Representing. Peace out, New York. Thank you. Half Dog, who goes way back, because I remember I met you. You was with Flash at a birthday party.
Yeah, we've been doing this for quite a while. Me and Flash been rocking since about 1981 and whatnot. And I've seen this hip hop thing come down, and it's really amazing where we've gotten to. I want to say, especially, it feels good to see Cold Crush be 20 years in the mix and still doing this game. It means a lot to me personally. See, I come from the old school of hip hop, back when we did it in the parks where we did it for free. And now to see that people are actually making millions of dollars off of it, it really makes me feel good. And by the way, I'm coming out with a new record label called Lumberjack Records. I got a couple of groups on it so far. Naya Bingy, they got Make It Hot out. Ill Mental Vision with Don't Test, and the Sorry Souls whole organization. We're coming out for like 1996. And when we hit the airwaves, y'all gonna know this is the beginning of the end. Lumberjack Records, interview.
The video that you gave me, what video is that?
Oh, that's Make It Hot. That's by the group Naya Bingy. And the music is done by JB the Baker. And CEO of our company, Ed Nicky Scarfo, we just doing our thing. Me, I'm Kev Dog. Been doing it for 20 years and better. It's about time to do it right.
There you go. All right, thanks.
Good to see you, too.
Good seeing you. That was Kev Dog in the house. Link Q, you saw Sticky, you saw Chuck Chill Out, Grand was a theater at the 20th Cold Crush anniversary. They got it going on. Crazy man, people representing in the house. It's a fat party. Y'all should have been here, all right? Y'all.
JB the Baker. What up?
Wow, yeah.
Break 'em off, son. Break 'em off, son. Break 'em off, son.
So it's unbelievable what I'm seeing, bro. It makes it hard to hold on for the American Negro. Some say do, some say don't. I say hit 'em, forget 'em, did 'em, them up ghosted. Lost in the source like a damn nomad. The heat is on and it can make you feel less than a man. All I see is animosity amongst my minority. What's up, T? What's up, peeps? It seems that the ways of this world have got us caught stressing the past. Way waiting for the half off of Newports. I keeps it real, straight out the Vernonville. It ain't no doubt about it, but I top those. That's why the baby kids on the corner do what they wanna. Got a single parent home with a stressed out mother, and when they're going to flush, that's all she got. That fat lady ain't singing, she's screaming. I hear the gunshot. Make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot, make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot, make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, team. Make it hot, make it, make it hot, make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot, make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, team.
You wanna feel the heat, son, then turn me up some. Now you binky, swing swords like a shogun century. I'm the one that's sweet, Illuminati eyes all on me. So what's the deal? Is you real? Is you with me? Grab up your Glocks, let's get low down and shifty. Misery, misery, bring out the jungle in me. Lord have mercy, for revenge I'm thirsty. It's just some things that can't be forgotten, like getting locked in chains on plantations picking cotton. So rock man, lick the Glock man, no job. I heat it up like NBA 95. Don't wanna test, you get yourself into a bloody mess, getting stomped out by my Timberland Gore-Tex. Raw dog to your grill chief, cause if it's ruckus, I got snuff rough and smash your teeth. New world order like sheep to the slaughter. Better recognize how the one been hitting you in lies ever since the rise of the Vatican. But now we shattering dreams like bullets hitting spleens. Mad screams make way for terror, rocking braids. They all afraid cause I blow up spots like air raids. N-I to the Y-A-B-I-N-G-Y, blowing tracks sky high when I get hot. Make it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot. Make it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot. Make it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, free, blowing up the sky. Make it hot. Make it, make it hot. Make it hot. Make it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot. Make it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, free, blowing up the sky. Who rocks the mic like I know what I'm claiming fame? Main rap's not in games. Do you wanna be with no degrees? You need to freeze. Cause when I flow, I bring the pain like Wu-Tang Killer Bees. Not the method man, but B.O.C. and man. I'm from the burning. I keep them heads turning like each sermon. See what I'm saying is my style is mad. I'm from the Bingy squad. Boom boom, I blow spots. Rock man, heaven or hell, I'm freaking ever since the pump tried to jack me for my sneakers. And ever since then, I've been a wild man. Me and my now who we run. Even I ran, so stepping into head now. What's up? It's the block, or let's it shut down from low. Time to wreck shop, I bet you can't tell who's the block. Who's the man in all this? Damn dummy, give me my prop. So which one of you want it? So I can slam it down your grill like Larry Johnson from the homies. It ain't no need for blessing, I don't be stressing, I brings it live. Let's get it on like Smith and West. Make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot, break it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot, break it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, team. Make it hot, make it, make it hot. Make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot. Make it hot, make it, make it, make it hot. Now you make it forever, team.
Break 'em, break 'em, break 'em off, son. Break 'em, break 'em, break 'em off, son. Break 'em, break 'em, break 'em off, son. Break 'em off, break 'em off, son. Give it to me, to me, to me.
No, you just ain't my style. Good. Now this is Marquise Marrow. No, you just ain't my style. Good. Now this is Marquise Marrow.
My back, while I'm bitches taking off my stacks. So haters get gone, carry on, haters carry on, haters carry fresh, so clean as some y'all never seen. Puts it down that looks so mean in them jeans, and I'm good with the flow, spit fire on the mic. How really tight, but my swagger so